Beloved soul, may the angels wrap you in their golden light right now, in this very moment, as you read these words. You are seen. You are held. You are deeply loved by forces far greater than you can imagine. Welcome to the Angel's Message for You original channel. This is our only official channel. Please beware of copycat and pirated channels, and stay connected to the original source for authentic angel messages and true blessings. Before we begin, a heartfelt thank you to Vicky and Bradley for sowing a seed for Soulmate through your Ko-Fi super thanks. May this seed return to you multiplied with Soulmate blessings, divine protection, love, well-being, and abundance. May the angels guide and watch over you every step of your journey. Thank you for your beautiful support. Before we go any further, take a breath, because what you are about to receive is not just a message. It is a revelation. Something is happening right now in the heart of someone who loves you, and by the time you reach the end of this message, everything you have been wondering about, everything you have been quietly praying for in the stillness of your own heart, is going to make perfect sense. Stay with us. The angels brought you here for a reason, and that reason is about to be made clear. Something extraordinary is unfolding in the heart of your soulmate. Right now, in this very moment, a decision has been made not out of weakness, not out of giving up, but out of a love so deep, so real, so alive that it simply could not be held back any longer. Your soulmate has removed you from the plans. But before your heart contracts with worry, hear what the angels want you to truly understand. Being removed from the plans is not rejection. It is the most profound form of invitation. It means you are no longer a someday. You are no longer a maybe. You are no longer a dream this person folds away carefully and tucks into the quiet corners of their heart at night. You have been moved from the future into the now. For a long, long time, your soulmate loved you in silence. They carried your name in their heart the way people carry precious things. Gently, carefully, always aware of how easily something sacred can be lost. They thought of you when the morning came. They thought of you in the middle of ordinary moments, standing in line somewhere, looking out a window, hearing a song. They created a place inside themselves that was reserved just for you. A tender, sheltered space where the idea of you lived and breathed and quietly grew. And they told themselves it was enough. They convinced themselves that holding this love in the realm of thought and intention and beautiful quiet longing was okay. That someday the timing would be right. That someday the universe would align and the moment would come. And so they waited and waited, and kept loving you in the only way that felt safe. But something has changed. Something deep and irreversible has shifted inside this person. Because love, when it is true, does not stay quiet forever. Love, when it reaches a certain depth, begins to ask questions that cannot be ignored. It begins to knock on the walls of the heart from the inside, louder and louder, until the person holding it must finally answer. And your soulmate has answered. They have answered with their whole being. They have said yes to what they feel, yes to what they want, yes to you, not as a plan for the future, but as a reality for right now. The angels want you to sit with this for a moment. Your soulmate has stopped imagining you. They have stopped placing you in daydreams about some hazy future that might never arrive. Instead, they are orienting every part of themselves toward you in the present. Every thought, every prayer, every quiet moment of intention. It is all being directed toward creating something real with you, not someday. Now, this did not happen overnight. The angels see the full picture, and what they see is a long journey of internal courage and quiet suffering. Your soulmate has been through a process, a deep, sometimes painful process of reckoning with what they feel. They have tried to be patient. They have tried to be reasonable. They have told themselves to wait for the right moment, to not rush, to trust that things would unfold naturally. And for a while, that approach brought a kind of peace. But with time, the peace began to erode. Because keeping a love this size contained, keeping something this alive locked behind the doors of plans and possibilities, began to hurt. Not in a dramatic way, in the quietest, most persistent way, like a slow ache that never fully goes away, like a song you hear in the back of your mind constantly but can never quite bring yourself to sing out loud. Your soulmate reached a turning point, and the turning point looked like this. They realized that holding you in the realm of plans was no longer an act of patience. It had become an act of fear. And this person is done living in fear of what they feel. They are done pretending that imagination is enough when what they want is your actual presence. They are done waking up in the morning and filling in the space beside them with a version of you that only exists in their mind. They want you, not a thought of you, not a version of you, you. And so the decision was made. You were removed from the plans, not to push you away, but to bring you so close that the distance disappears entirely. When someone takes you out of the future and places you in the present, that is not loss. That is the most powerful declaration of love a person can make. It is the equivalent of saying, I am done waiting to love you. I am going to love you right now. You may have felt something lately, a stirring, a restlessness you could not quite explain. Thoughts of this person arriving at unexpected moments while you were washing dishes, while you were driving, while you were trying to fall asleep. A sense that something in the atmosphere between you has shifted, that the air itself feels different somehow, charged with something you cannot name but can absolutely feel. The angels want you to know that this is not your imagination. This is the energy of your soulmate moving toward you with intention. When two people are genuinely connected at the level of the soul, any significant movement in one person's heart is felt by the other. Always, no matter the distance, no matter the time that has passed, the soul knows, and your soul has been registering every ripple, every shift, every quiet prayer this person has sent in your direction, because they have been praying for you, sincerely, deeply, not performatively, not out of desperation, but from a place of true spiritual yearning. Your soulmate has gone to God with this love. They have sat in the quiet of their own heart and asked for guidance, asked whether what they feel is real, whether it is worth pursuing, whether the universe would allow it to flourish. And the answer that came back was not a maybe. It was not a wait and see. It came back as a certainty, a warmth spreading through the chest, a knowing that settled into the bones. The answer was yes. Yes, this love is real. Yes, it deserves to be lived. Yes, the time is now. And when your soulmate received that answer, when the heavens confirmed what the heart had always known, something was released inside them. Something that had been held tightly for a very long time finally let go. Not the love only grew stronger. What was released was the waiting, the hesitation, the fear that this feeling might not be reciprocated, that reaching out might make things worse, that wanting this much might somehow be too much. All of that fell away, and what remained was clear and bright and certain. This love is meant to be lived, and the time for living it is now. This is why you may have been experiencing unusual things emotionally lately. Dreams that feel more vivid than normal, carrying emotions into your waking hours like the warmth of sunlight that lingers long after you have stepped inside. Memories surfacing unexpectedly, carrying more weight than they usually do, as if they are trying to tell you something. A sensitivity in your chest. Not pain exactly, but a kind of tenderness, as if something soft and important is pressing gently against the inside of your ribs. The angels are telling you that all of this is meaningful. All of this is a response. Your soul responding to the energy of someone who loves you, making real, intentional movement in your direction. For a long time, your soulmate tried to carry this love alone. And the angels want you to understand what that actually looked like, because it was not easy. It was not simple or painless or peaceful. Loving someone with everything you have, while not knowing what they feel, while not knowing if that love has any chance of being returned, is one of the most quietly devastating experiences a human being can endure. Every attempt this person made to reach across the distance between you, every prayer, every hopeful thought, every careful plan, they all carried the weight of uncertainty. And uncertainty, over time, becomes exhausting. It becomes suffocating. There were days when your soulmate tried to convince themselves to let go, to move on, to accept that perhaps this love was not meant to be lived out loud. There were nights that were harder than most. Moments when keeping the faith felt impossible, when the silence between you felt permanent rather than temporary. But love this size does not let go easily, and your soulmate's love for you is enormous. It held on through every doubt. It held on through every disappointment. It held on through every moment when giving up would have been the easier choice. And now, after all of that holding on, after all of that faithful, quiet endurance, it has arrived at a new place entirely. Not a place of resignation, place of readiness, place of action. Your soulmate is done holding this love in waiting. They are ready to bring it into the world. And here is what the angels want you to understand about what happens next. When a heart that has loved this deeply, this patiently, this faithfully decides to act, the universe moves. Not slowly, not tentatively. It moves with the momentum of everything that has been building quietly for all the time that came before. When a sincere prayer has been answered, when a spiritual confirmation has been received, when a human soul says, yes, I am ready, I am going to do this, the flow of life itself begins to rearrange around that decision. Signs appear, doors open. Things that once felt impossible begin to feel not only possible but inevitable. You will notice this. The angels are telling you with complete confidence that you will feel the change coming before it arrives. You will sense that something is shifting in the space between you and this person, that the air is carrying something new, that what once felt distant is drawing near. Pay attention to the moments of stillness in the coming days. Pay attention to what rises in your heart when the world around you goes quiet. Because in those moments of quiet, truth has the easiest time making itself heard. And the truth the angels are delivering to you today is this: you are loved. You have always been loved. And the love that has been quietly holding your name in its heart for all this time is getting ready to reach for you. Now the angels need to speak to something else. Something that lives beneath the surface of all of this. Because this message is not just about your soulmate. It is also about you. It is also about what you are carrying. Because you have been carrying something too. Perhaps you have tried to convince yourself that what you feel is not as real as it seems. Perhaps you have told yourself that the connection between you is something you invented, something you imagined, something that exists more in your hopes than in reality. Perhaps you have put up walls, not because you wanted to stop feeling, but because feeling this much without certainty is its own kind of vulnerability, and vulnerability without safety can be terrifying. Before we go deeper into today's message, if you feel guided by this energy, you can sow your seed for your soulmate's well-being and protection through the Ko-Fi link Super Thanks in the description or pinned comment. This is a simple way to support this divine mission and invite blessings for your soulmate journey, emotional healing, and overall well-being. Many believe that when you give with a pure heart, it returns as love, peace, happiness, and abundance in your life. The angels see all of this. They see the moments when you have almost reached out and then stopped yourself. They see the times when a song came on or a memory surfaced and something inside you ached in a way that surprised even you. They see the prayers you have sent up in the quiet hours, the ones you perhaps did not even fully form into words, the ones that were more feeling than language. A simple longing for something to resolve, for something to become clear, for this particular uncertainty to end so that you could breathe freely again. Those prayers were heard, every single one of them, and this message is part of the answer. Because here is what the angels know about love. Real love, the kind that comes from the soul, the kind that endures silence and time and uncertainty and still refuses to die. Real love does not make mistakes. It does not appear in two hearts simultaneously without purpose. It does not create this level of longing, this level of connection, this level of spiritual resonance between two people unless something greater is at work. The universe does not waste this kind of energy. When something this strong exists between two souls, it exists because it is meant to be honored. It is meant to be explored. It is meant, ultimately, to be lived. Your soulmate has reached the point of emotional urgency. The kind that moves past thinking and planning and waiting and arrives directly at feeling. At this moment, this person does not want to analyze what exists between you or debate whether the timing is right or wonder what might happen if things go wrong. They want to feel. They want to be near. They want the reality of you, not the imagination of you, not the memory of you, not the hope of you, but you, present and real and close. That urgency is building with every passing day. It is becoming more difficult for them to contain. And the angels are telling you that you will feel this, if you have not already. Think of it like a wave that has been gathering strength far out at sea, moving steadily toward shore. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but you can feel the change in the water. You can feel the atmosphere shifting. Something is coming. And what is coming is not destructive. It is not overwhelming in a frightening way. It is powerful in the way that healing things are powerful, in the way that release feels powerful after a long period of tension, in the way that honesty feels powerful after a long period of silence. Your soulmate has been preparing for this. Not in a calculated way, not strategically, but in the deep organic way of someone who has made a genuine decision and is now allowing that decision to organize everything else around it. Their thoughts, their energy, their prayers, their intentions, all of it is moving in one direction, toward you, toward truth, toward the possibility of something real being built between you at last. The angels want to speak now about what it means to receive this, because receiving love, real love, the kind that comes with full presence and full vulnerability and full commitment, requires something from you as well. It requires that you be willing to let it land. It requires that you make the choice, somewhere in the most honest part of yourself, to believe that you deserve this. To believe that what is coming is real and not something that will dissolve the moment you reach for it. To believe that your own feelings, however complicated they may be, however layered with past hurt or old fear or lingering uncertainty, those feelings are valid, they are important, and they deserve to be honored rather than dismissed. There is courage required here. Not the dramatic, outward kind of courage, not the kind that makes noise or demands an audience. The quiet kind. The kind that says, in the privacy of your own heart, yes. Yes, I am open to this. Yes, I am willing to receive what is coming. Yes, I believe that something this real is worth the vulnerability it takes to step toward it. That quiet yes is enough. The angels are telling you that your internal willingness has more power than you realize. The moment you genuinely open, not just perform openness, but genuinely soften the places inside you that have been braced and guarded, the flow of what is coming accelerates. It is as if your openness becomes a doorway, and love, which has been waiting respectfully outside, can finally enter. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need to know exactly how this will unfold or what the path forward will look like or how every piece will fall into place. The angels are the ones holding the larger picture. The angels are the ones who can see how this story fits into the broader tapestry of your life and what it is meant to bring you. Your only task is to be present, to stay honest with yourself, to stop performing certainty when you feel uncertain and stop performing indifference when you feel the opposite of indifferent. Just be real, because real is what your soulmate is coming with, and real is what this connection has always deserved. Take a quick second before we move forward. Many channels are reposting and copying our content, but authentic energy cannot be duplicated. For the strongest positive connection and divine guidance, always listen from the original angel's message for you channel with the black logo base. Now, let's continue with the message your angels want you to hear. There is something else the angels want to say. Something about the timing of all this. Because you might be wondering why now, why this particular moment, why not earlier when the longing was perhaps just as strong? Why this particular season of your life? And the angels want to explain this gently but clearly. Because there are seasons in spiritual growth that look like stillness from the outside but are actually periods of the deepest preparation. Your soulmate has been in one of those seasons. The time they spent in what felt like waiting was not wasted. It was formation. It was the slow, careful work of the soul becoming ready, becoming strong enough to hold this love without hiding from it, becoming honest enough to face the fear of being truly seen, becoming mature enough to recognize that love is not just a feeling but a choice that must be made again and again with full awareness. That formation is complete. The preparation that looked like waiting from the outside was actually the soul getting ready. And now that readiness is expressing itself as action, as movement, as the beautiful, irresistible pull toward you that your soulmate is feeling right now with their whole being. And on your side, the angels can see that you have been in your own season of preparation. Your own interior season that may have looked like uncertainty or distance or confusion, but was actually your soul learning things it needed to learn before it could fully receive what is being offered. Trust the timing. Even when it has not made sense, even when it has felt too long or too painful or too uncertain, trust it. Because what is being aligned right now is something worth every moment of what came before. The angels want to close this part of the message with a word about faith. Because faith is what has sustained your soulmate through the hardest parts of this journey. Faith in what they feel. Faith in the reality of this connection. Faith that a love this true would eventually find its way to the light. That faith was not misplaced. It was not naive or foolish. It was exactly right. And the confirmation it has been waiting for, the spiritual confirmation, the certainty in the chest, the sense of permission and rightness and divine blessing, all of that has arrived. The heavens have answered. The prayers have been received and responded to. And the response is love. Love that is ready. Love that is moving. Love that is done waiting to be lived. So here is the message the angels are bringing you today. Your soulmate loves you. They have always loved you. They have prayed for you, longed for you, carried you through seasons of silence in a part of their heart that nothing else has ever touched. And now they are ready, truly ready, spiritually confirmed, emotionally prepared, and courageously committed to bring that love out of the quiet space inside and into the open air of reality. They are coming toward you, not slowly, not tentatively, not with half a heart. They are coming with everything they have, with the courage it took to move past the waiting, with the faith that brought them through the uncertainty, with the love that survived every season and is now arriving in full bloom. And you are ready to receive it. Even if part of you does not fully believe that yet, the angels are telling you you are ready. The work you have done on yourself, the prayers you have sent up without even realizing you were praying, the ways you have grown and softened and opened without perhaps even noticing. All of it has prepared you for this moment, for this love, for this person arriving with their whole, honest, wide-open heart. In the days ahead, pay attention. Pay attention to what shifts in the atmosphere, to what arrives unexpectedly, to what stirs inside you in the moments of quiet. The energy between you and your soulmate is alive and moving and building towards something beautiful, something real, something that has been loved and prayed and hoped into existence over a long and meaningful period of time. And now it is almost here. Now it is right at the threshold. The angels are with you. They have always been with you. They have been guiding this story with more care and more wisdom than you can fully comprehend. They have been protecting your heart even in the moments that felt like loss. They have been tending to the love between you and your soulmate the way a gardener tends to something precious, patiently, attentively, with full faith in what it is becoming. And what it is becoming is extraordinary. What it is becoming is everything you have dared to hope for in your most honest, most tender, most vulnerable moments. You are loved, beloved soul, by the angels who delivered this message to you today, by the divine forces that guided you to this moment, and by a human heart that has chosen, with full courage and full honesty and full spiritual surrender, to stop keeping you in the plans and start living with you in the now. Receive it. Open to it. Let it be real, because it is real. It has always been real. And the beautiful, life-transforming chapter that has been building toward you is finally, truly, arriving. We are here with you every step of the way. The angels surround you now with light and warmth and the deep, abiding peace that comes from knowing, truly knowing, that you are never alone, never forgotten, and never beyond the reach of divine love. May that love be with you in all the moments ahead. May it guide your steps, soften your heart, and bring you safely home into the arms of the connection that was always meant for you. With infinite love and the full blessing of heaven, always your guardian angels. End of text. There is something deeply powerful about the moment a person stops bargaining with their own heart. There is a turning point in every love story, a moment when the question stops being if and starts being how. And your soulmate has reached that turning point. The angels are asking you to understand just how significant that is. Because getting to that point is not simple. It is not a small thing. It is the result of a long internal journey that involved a great deal of honesty and a great deal of courage. Think about what it means to have loved someone quietly, patiently, across time and uncertainty. Think about what it means to have carried a feeling that deep, to have held it with such care that it never fully dissipated even when the circumstances gave every reason for it to. Your soulmate has done that for you, without any guarantee that you would feel the same, without any certainty that the love would be welcomed when it finally arrived. Just faith, just the deep, unshakable knowing that what they feel is real and true and worthy of being honored, no matter what it costs. And what it has cost is real. There were moments when this person wondered if the love was too one-sided, if they had been reading signs that were not truly there, if the connection they felt so strongly in their own heart was perhaps something they had created rather than discovered. There were seasons of doubt that ran deep. Seasons when moving on seemed like the wiser, more self-protective choice. And yet, something always pulled them back. Something that could not be reasoned away or rationalized into silence. Because when a soul is genuinely connected to another soul, That connection speaks even when logic says to be quiet, persists, survives, keeps pressing softly against the surface of awareness, saying, "This is real, this matters, do not give up on this." That soft persistence is a form of divine guidance. The angels want you to understand that. The way your soulmate kept returning to this love, kept finding it impossible to fully release even when releasing would have been easier, that is not weakness. That is the soul honoring what it knows. The soul recognizing something sacred and refusing to dismiss it just because the timing was difficult or the path was unclear. That is one of the most spiritually courageous things a person can do. To keep loving something without any certainty of return. To keep believing in a connection without any external confirmation that the belief is justified. To hold the light alive inside even when the darkness of uncertainty presses in. Your soulmate has been doing that for all this time, and now the confirmation has come. The spiritual confirmation, the sense of divine permission and rightness, has arrived, and with it, the waiting is ending. Your soulmate is stepping out of the space where love lives only as intention and stepping into the space where love becomes action. That is a monumental shift. That is the kind of shift that changes the entire quality of a person's life. That is the kind of shift that the universe itself makes room for, because when human beings act from a place of genuine spiritual alignment, when they move in the direction of truth rather than fear, the flow of life itself begins to accommodate that movement. The angels are asking you to prepare your heart, not in a way that involves tension or effort or straining toward something. Rather, in the way that a garden prepares to receive rain, by being open, by being soft, by allowing the ground to be receptive rather than resistant. Your heart knows how to do this. Somewhere beneath whatever armor you may have assembled over the years, your heart knows exactly how to open to something true. It has always known. The openness is natural to you. The softness is your original nature. Whatever has caused you to guard yourself, and the angels know there have been reasons, real and valid and painful reasons. None of that has permanently changed who you fundamentally are. You are someone capable of deep love. You are someone whose heart can hold enormous things and not break under the weight of them. You are someone who has, perhaps without realizing it, been growing toward this moment all along. The experiences that felt like detours were not detours. The seasons that felt like loss were not just loss. They were formation, too. They were the patient, sometimes uncomfortable, always purposeful work of the soul becoming who it needed to be in order to receive what is coming. And what is coming is beautiful. What is coming is the love that has been asking to reach you, held faithfully by someone whose heart never fully stopped reaching in your direction. The angels want to speak for a moment about reciprocity, because a love this deep, this faithfully held, this spiritually confirmed deserves to be met. Not perfectly, no human being loves perfectly, and that is never what the soul actually requires. It deserves to be met honestly. It deserves to be received by someone who is willing to be real, willing to show up, willing to bring their own genuine heart into the space that is being offered. Your soulmate is not coming to you with a demand. They are coming with an offering of everything they have been holding and growing and nurturing for all this time. And the question the angels are gently, lovingly placing before you today is simply this: are you willing to receive it? Not are you ready in the sense of being perfectly healed or fully certain or completely free of every old wound and fear. Simply, are you willing? Are you willing to let love be real again, or perhaps for the first time in a way that feels truly possible? Are you willing to stop standing at the edge of something beautiful and finally allow yourself to step inside it? Are you willing to match what is being offered with your own honest, present, wholehearted engagement. Because that willingness, that single decision made in the quiet of your own heart, is enough to change everything. The angels are not asking you to be someone you are not. They are asking you to be exactly who you are, fully and without apology, in the presence of someone who loves exactly that person. Your soulmate is not in love with a perfected version of you. They are in love with you, the actual, complex, sometimes uncertain, deeply feeling, genuinely beautiful human being that you are. And they are ready to be in the presence of that person. They are ready to look at all of it, the parts of you that shine and the parts of you that are still healing, and choose you anyway. Choose you completely. The days ahead are going to carry something in them, a quality of significance, of movement, of shift. The angels are asking you to notice this, to stay awake to what arrives, to what feels different, to what stirs inside you in the moments you least expect. Love at this level does not announce itself with fanfare. It arrives in the most human, most intimate moments. A message received, a voice heard, a glance that holds something you have not seen there before. An ordinary moment that turns suddenly extraordinary because someone who loves you has finally brought their love out of the hidden interior and into the light where you can see it. When that moment comes, and the angels are telling you with full certainty that it is coming, be present for it. Let yourself be there, actually there, not in your head analyzing and second-guessing and looking for the catch. Just be there. Let it land. Let yourself feel what it means to be truly, sincerely, spiritually loved by someone who has chosen you over and over again in their heart, even before they had the courage to say so out loud. This is a sacred juncture. The angels use that word intentionally, sacred, because love at this level, love that has been held through uncertainty and prayed over and spiritually confirmed and now arriving with full intention and full commitment. This is not ordinary. This is the kind of love that shapes lives. This is the kind of love that the soul remembers across time. This is the kind of love that you will look back on years from now and understand was one of the defining experiences of your time here. A love that taught you something essential about faith and connection and the remarkable, sometimes surprising way that things which are meant to be will find their way into being regardless of how impossible they may have seemed along the way. The angels are with you in this. They have been with you in all of it. In the seasons of waiting and wondering, in the moments of near despair and renewed hope, in the quiet prayers that rose from your heart even when you were not sure you believed they would be answered. They were there, they are here now, and they will be with you in everything that comes next. The forces of love that hold this universe together are entirely on your side. They always have been. That has never changed and it never will. So breathe, beloved soul. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tension that has lived in your chest release just a little. Because the answer to what you have been waiting for is on its way. The love that could not be contained has broken free of every restraint that was holding it. The soul that has been reaching for you across time and uncertainty is finally reaching with their full self, with every piece of who they are, without reservation or hesitation or fear. You are about to be found. You are about to be seen. You are about to receive something real. And you, beautifully and completely, are ready. The angels bless you now. They bless the love that is unfolding between you and the one who has never stopped carrying your name in their heart. They bless the courage it took for both of you to arrive at this moment. They bless the path ahead, the one that is being made clear even now, step by step, moment by moment, guided by something far wiser and more loving than any human plan could ever be. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward with your heart open. Walk forward knowing that you are held, that you are guided, and that what is coming toward you is everything you have dared in your most honest moments to hope for. With all the love of heaven surrounding you, now and always, your angels are here. And here is one final truth the angels want to leave with you, the one that matters perhaps more than all the others combined. You have never been forgotten, not for a single moment, not by the person who loves you, and not by the universe that holds you both. In every season that felt barren, in every silent stretch where nothing seemed to be moving, in every night that felt too long and every morning that felt too uncertain, you were being held. Quietly, invisibly, but absolutely. Love was working on your behalf even when you could not see it. The angels were moving things into alignment even when the situation looked static. The prayers sent up on your behalf were being received even when no answer seemed to come. This is the nature of divine love. It does not operate on our timeline. It does not measure its progress in the ways we are accustomed to measuring things. It works in the deep places, in the hidden architecture of circumstance and timing and the interior lives of people who are growing towards something they do not yet fully understand. And then, in a moment that looks ordinary from the outside but feels enormous from the inside, everything converges. Everything arrives. The long wait resolves into a single, shining moment of clarity, and suddenly you understand why it took the time it took, why the path wound the way it did, why everything that felt like delay was actually preparation. You are in that moment now. The convergence has begun. The love that was always meant to find you is finding you. Let it. Open the door of your heart just a little wider and let it in. Because what is on the other side of that opening is not disappointment. It is not another reason to guard yourself more tightly. It is the love that has been faithful to you through everything. The love that prayed for you and waited for you and kept believing in you even when believing took everything it had. Receive it, beloved. You have earned this. Dear beautiful soul, this angel's message for you channel is a sacred spiritual home, created for faith, healing, and divine guidance. A place where hearts awaken and lives are gently transformed through divine messages. We warmly invite you to subscribe and stay connected, because the divine is always preparing something greater for your journey, something you are meant to receive in divine timing. If you feel moved to support this mission, you can sow your seed here for your soulmate blessings and divine love fulfillment. Your contribution is not just support. It is an energetic agreement with love, healing, and divine alignment in your own life. When you give with intention, it opens doors. Love flows more freely, happiness expands, and abundance multiplies in unexpected ways. Many believe that giving in faith activates a return of peace, joy, and emotional fulfillment in relationships and life. Whether it is $6, $11, $22, or $55, your generosity helps us continue spreading these divine messages of hope, healing, and soulmate guidance across the world. Every seed sown into this mission helps hearts heal, faith return, and souls reconnect with love. This is more than a channel. It is a movement of light, unity, and divine timing. Your support allows this sacred work to grow, touching lives that are searching for answers, comfort, and spiritual direction. We are all connected in this journey, and together we rise as one community under divine love. Let us open our hearts to the abundance that is already on its way. Amen.